Hello, hello. We are live. We are live a minute early on purpose for Vision Night, my birthday. All right, we're just going to hang out for just a moment before people show up. We've got 30 seconds. So, yes, before we get started, this is the chit chat before class starts. Okay, we've got viewers. All right, we're going to get started. Thank you so much for the birthday wish. It has been a great day. I've spent the whole day alone. I woke up and got my Starbucks, and then I went to, just got some food and all of that. So, I've been working on divine wellness stuff, working on stuff for Vision Night tonight, and here we are. All right. Yes, this is being recorded. It's a YouTube live, so when we're done, it'll stay on my channel, and then I will share that. So yeah, I'll definitely share it, and it'll be available. And then at the very, very, very end, I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to leave their email address, send it to me privately on a feedback form, and then I can also send that to you. I can email it to you. So, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump in. So, welcome to Vision Night. My name is Tasha Salinas, and I am the visionary and CEO behind Divine Wellness. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, but the reason that we're here, is because we are here for miracles. We are here for healing. We are here for an express purpose that is divine. I didn't start a business and a ministry over something that's just fun and entertainment. We are here for real soul identity work. And that's what this is. And so in the teasers and the promos, I talked about waking up in a new reality. And that's actually what's going to happen, but from the inside out. So this is identity work, and we're going to do it together. And like I said, I'm live on camera, you're on the chat, and I'm taking us on a journey. So I have my notes in front of me. I said 6:30 in my mind. I said 6:30 to 8 p.m. And so that's kind of a long time. But what this is going to look like is we're going to talk about a few things. I'm going to tell you my story, and then we're going to learn a little bit. And then we're going to actually have that activation, that healing, that moment, that journey, that time where you receive your highest self. And you're going to know what that means by the time we get there. Then we're going to debrief, because when you get something, you got to remember, you got to learn, you got to read the instruction manual. Like we're starting over, born again, one might say, but this is not religion. And yeah, you're already your own savior. But we're just going to put things in alignment and make it make sense to where it's easy and effortless. So we don't recreate the wheel of religion, but we live in the promises that they always offered, but we live in it. We don't wait till we die. So that's quite the intro. All right. So this is my birthday gift to you. I'm going to follow my notes here, but just like I just did, I have my notes, but I'm a channel. Like God speaks through me. And so sometimes I'll be thinking I'm going somewhere, and we're going to go somewhere because there's somebody who needs to hear the tangent. So first of all, this is my birthday. And the reason I picked this day is because starting in 2020, you're going to hear my story, but that's when I really woke up, my grand spiritual awakening, to where a lot of the gifts of my psyche have come online. And TLDR, if you want to just jump to 8 p.m., essentially, like, I woke up, and this is my life mission because everybody else is waking up, and people were not all doing it at the same time. And it's from the inside out. It's the butterfly and the chrysalis. And so what has happened right now is that evolution has led us to where we are. So our bodies and the development of humanity, of the human being, has led us to where we are. And we think about the evolution of the Neanderthal all the way up, and we consider Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so it's a triangle, and at the bottom are those foundational, like, safety needs. And we go all the way up, and to when we get to the tip, that's transcendence. And where we are is this is the evolution of human consciousness. So we know that we're evolving from humans into spirit. We are ascending. We are getting more and more divine. And now that seems like otherworldly, but actually what's happening is our higher self is becoming more and more earthly and more grounded in our bodies. And so my job on this earth, it sounds so weird, but my activation, what I've learned through being bumped around in life the last 6 years, is that, oh, there's an integration period. So for me, it was like, boom. And then I started learning things and recognizing that I'm creating my reality. And I'm not giving empty promises. I'm going to teach you, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. This is my birthday and I exist to give. So I'm gonna give you the keys, but I gotta get you. I gotta get you. So I'm not giving empty promises. Like I said, this is identity work, but this is not effort. We're not gonna sit here and scream it out and cry, and we're not gonna fight with fighting and fighting and fighting. We're done dying already. Take a deep breath and live. So this is not effort. This is remembering our divine identity. And again, like I said, this is not entertainment. We're going to learn. We're going to have that activation, that healing. You're going to receive your own message from God inside of you, not from me, but from you and the inside of you. And then we're going to move on. We're going to move on. So you're going to want to take notes for this, or if you have notes nearby, just trust what comes to mind. Okay. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to talk about this. If you can't tell, my energy is hype. I've been preparing for this all day long. And what happened probably 20 something minutes ago is I was chill. Like I was polishing everything. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the work that I do. Like you got to be like you business owner, like hello. And all of a sudden I just got hit with like whoo, and it was a panic attack. Not really, but like my nervous system shot. And I know how to calm myself. And I remember before I spoke publicly, I was told I was having nervousness, and God was like, recognize nervousness as a sign that you're about to do something really, really brave. And so, again, I was reminded I'm about to go live on YouTube and talk about Gnostic Christianity, talk about enlightenment, talk about ascension, salvation. This is soul work. There are people who commit suicide because they don't understand who they actually are. And it's the righteous thing inside of me. And when God says speak, she speaks. It's tattooed on my body. And so I felt that energy and I got grounded and I was like, oh. And then I remembered to have it be a holy and sovereign moment. So right now, regardless of your spiritual beliefs or your religious beliefs, I'm going to just call in God, the Holy Spirit, divine mother, father, consciousness, the highest of highs. Only for our highest and best good is only invited to this live stream, to this message inside of this vessel. I'm a channel. And if you are going to be here to receive from me, then I ask you to also show up in your highest essence. So I want you to pay attention to how you hear. You might hear me say some things might challenge you, and that's okay. That's why you've taken notes, because I'm an activator. I often say from stage, and I'll tell you my whole credentials here in a minute, but I often say from stage, like, you're creating your reality. Okay. And so when you take these notes, what happens is you ask a question where your subconscious can answer it. And if you can't figure out the answer on your own, then you will magnetize the information to you. You create your reality. So take notes. If I trigger you, then okay, that's a learning opportunity. And I'm not here to say I have the truth and you don't. What I'm here to do is wake up the truth inside of you, because you are truth. There's one consciousness, there's one God, there is one universe, there's one everything, and it's energy. And for the human mind to conceptualize the godness, the goodness that is, we get to combine what we know of science and what we were taught in spirituality and religion. And religion was restraining, but we had to learn the framework so we could break free from it. And that's where we are. And that's why this is such an exciting gift for you and for me to give. So I'm going to jump into my story a little bit, and I'm going to share my screen because I'm a teacher at heart. I homeschooled my kids, and I used to work as a that I just made a couple of slides just for this presentation. So this is just the opening slide just to say hi and welcome. And so I'm going to tell my story, but on the screen are my credentials. And so I'll have this slide up for a little bit, and it's not going to be up there the whole time. But if you want to read about some of the things, and of course I did it, the Great American Speak Off Top 10. And then that's my disclaimer, which if you ever get into coaching with me, you will receive that disclaimer. But basically, Everything that I say is not medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. You are still free and sovereign, and it's up to you to get the help that you need if you do find that this is too catalyzing. Talk to me, and then we will work together and get you the help that you might need. My intention is that this will be a healing, fun, liberating experience. So that's a couple of my credentials on there, but a little bit about me, a little bit more about me. Let me stop the share because you can see all my things. So, I was raised as a military brat. I lived all over the world. I went to many different church services. I was raised primarily Christian. And I got married, had kids, had 3 kids, still have 3 kids. In 2020, all of a sudden, during our global pandemic, I started having cluster panic attacks. Now, you're going to wonder why I'm going into this detail. It matters because it matters. Everybody's evolving. So you've either been through your awakening, you're in the middle of it, or you're going to get it. And then there's an integration period. And that's what I get to speak to. So I'm telling you my origin story. So in 2020, I started having cluster panic attacks. We were in the midst of a global worldwide pandemic. We know this. And everybody's feasting on how many people are dying. And, we're going grocery shopping with all these masks and personal protective equipment. We know we lived through this. And it was just too much for me. And I was leading a bunch of personal shoppers. And so my shoppers are calling me on the phone and they're like having panic attacks in the grocery store. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And it was just so much. And then I started having these like nightmares and dreams. And it was to the point where my body was just kind of always like tremoring. I was going to therapy. Everything was fine, but it was just anxiety, just riddled. I was riddled with anxiety. I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares. And I remember at one time I was in the middle of a panic attack and I ran to my closet. I would go to my closet and it was a step in closet with the door, that closed on it. So I would step in and like all 3 walls were covered with clothes. And I would just sit in there and just like kind of like rock and just finally try to calm down because I needed that sensory deprivation of the black closet. And shortly as I started doing that more and more, suddenly I noticed I started seeing the clothes around me. They were angels and they were singing. And I just let it happen because it was much better than the fears and all the images that were coming to my mind. I was seeing some atrocious things. I was hearing screams and noise. It was chaos in my mind. I thought I was going crazy, but I didn't like I would grab it. So if I was crazy, I was just on my way. I didn't know what to think. I was breaking down. And so as I'm in the closet and I'm breathing and I'm breathing and I hear, he will rejoice over you with singing. He will rejoice over you with singing. And that's a verse in Zephaniah in the Bible. And the Lord will rejoice over you with song. And then I started seeing, instead of like horrible visions, and this is sequential, but then I started seeing angels. I started seeing beaches. I started seeing me on a beach walking. I started seeing me with someone who wasn't my husband, but I was happy and I was free. And I was like, I was seeing these images that were me, but it was like first person me. Even though I wasn't trying, it was weird. And what I realized in that closet is that my body started meditating me. I was literally allowing my mind to just die off, letting the thoughts I was I just surrendered to them. And when I would let go inside of my mind, that's when the peace would rush over me. And of course, I asked God for help, but I wasn't holding on to anything. So, turns out I had to keep going. I was a mom, 3 kids, and my marriage wasn't good. So, in the middle of a pandemic, I chose to leave my husband. I felt trapped. And so, my story is that I go to work at one of our state agencies here, and it was a brand new department where they were teaching self awareness tools. And so I got hired on and I had to immediately learn self-awareness tools. And so I got certified in MBTI. I was teaching our high-level executives in the state of Oklahoma how to see their reflection, how to know themselves so they could live accordingly, how to live an intentional life. Well, as I did that, it was effortlessly coming out of me because also I'm a former pastor in the Christian church. And it doesn't matter about Christianity, but I learned a framework to help people know themselves and to know the insides of themselves and how to commune with something on the inside of them. And so when people wanted more, I started teaching embodied emotional intelligence to where when you really know your habits and your patterns, and you really know and understand how your particular psyche was created, and then you combine that with emotional intelligence. Here's Quincy, he's my cat, whatever. You combine that with emotional intelligence, there's a bit of whole brain synchronization that happens. And so when that happens, your mind, your thinking can get a lot more clear. And I'm not going to pre-teach this. I promise we're going somewhere, but you got to learn this. When you do that, the whole brain synchronization, you get that through meditation, and then the heart and the heart mind coherence, that changes your energetic frequency. And that's the science behind it. And I'll touch on that later, but so you know, so when I'm talking about the things I'm talking about, this is actual biological explanation of combining, again, science and spirituality. So I got hired on doing that. And so as I did that, I helped to create another department in one of our state agencies, our well-being division at one of our newest state agencies. And I loved it. And then I got in a head-on collision, and it was a tremendous wreck. And I was not harmed at all. The man was drunk, high, he hit me head on, he ran a stop sign, my everything was totaled. It was intense, but I walked away unscathed. But what that did is that shook me alive, that I needed to talk, I need to walk my talk, because I learned in there how to create my reality. Once we are actually so self-aware, things start resonating and coming alive in us that we didn't even know, because we were so weighed down in the unknowing, in the forgetfulness. And so that brings me to the awakening. So that's a little bit of teaching the science behind it. I'm gonna go ahead and move on over to so I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna invite you, because that was one hell of an intro, but I'm gonna invite you to tell me, have you felt anything lately in your life, in your body, in the way you're thinking? Because in 2020, we all felt the shifts because of everything that was happening in society. And now moving to 2025, how many of you guys have survived 2025? Like barely. We did it. We're here. And so 2026, it's the beginning of the year. And so people we're fresh slate, like we're thinking. And this is right on time, because one of my spiritual gifts is also astrology, is also prophecy. Like God has been speaking to me. And when we read, and again, my foundation is the Bible, but I've also been brought in like other information, like occulted information from the church, to where I'm now teaching, well, facilitating book studies on Gnostic text that makes it all make sense. So we get to break out of the framework of cultural Christianity, so to speak, and cultural like unknowingness, to where we're waking up to really can embody the manifestation of God. And that's who we are. So I'm getting stuck. So if your life has felt a little wild and crazy, that's on purpose, because what's happening is we're all waking up, and it's almost like Harry Potter with a wand, and you have the wand, the magic wand, and you don't know how to do it. And that's what most of the collective, and when I say the collective, is humanity, until they have the awakening of their consciousness and they see how to actually navigate the energy that is our reality. We're just bumping along and calling life sucky, and we're naming it, and we're creating hell on earth, and we're living it, and we're living to die. I mean, there's so much here. And that's why Jesus talks about the eternal life. Well, we're going to talk about eternal life. We are talking about eternal life. So when we understand that the 3D reality is a reflection of what's going on, the 3D, so in the beginning, God, and I'm just going to speak through this because this is the way that I understand it. God is everything. God is energy. And so when God created the earth, light and dark. And so whether it's the Big Bang or God or whatever you think about how it happened, there on earth in this dimension, there are negative and positive polarities of any atom, any battery. This is the duality, the dimension of light and dark, good and bad, life and death. That's third dimension. Now, in the beginning, God, everything came from the one thing, the Big Bang or God or just the formless void. And then it separated. So with evolution, what has happened is all of that creation has gone. So we've gotten to the zenith of creation. Well, what's now happening is we've devolved from God. We've fallen so far from that original source point that we have forgotten that we are actually part of it because everything is energy. If there's a bonfire and we take a little bit of fire from the bonfire, that is still fire, and it still is just as much fire as the original bonfire. It's all fire. And that's the thing that beats our heart. And so where we are evolutionarily of our consciousness is we are starting to understand, hold on. And maybe not understanding yet, we have the cognitive capacity to understand. So we already know the framework that we've been taught that there could be a something beyond us. We already know that. But do we embody that the something beyond is actually inside of us? And that's the never ending reserve of fire. That's the bonfire that's alive in us. And so when we descend and when we devolve, then we now get to go back into the oneness, and that's our consciousness. And so the way that the 3D works is that it's an expression of what's going on in your mind. So the way, and this is just stick with me here, just stick with me here. The way our eyes work is it's actually we, perceive, we look out, and then when we see something, that's a reception of what we see. That's a reflection. It's coming back. And then how we interpret what we see, it creates it. That's the way the brain and the eyes work. You can dig into that. In the realm of consciousness, the way you think defines your world. So when you wake up to understanding that what you think and how you label your world is creating misery or hell, you stop speaking like that. You stop thinking like that. And what happens is you invite that joy in, and you are the only one that lives through your own eyes. Everything is already inside of you because this is all a projection. This is all a mirrored from the original. So when you go back up full life, you are perfect. You are perfect. The only difference between what you're thinking and experiencing perfection is the trust and the belief. Could it be possible that God is the thing that beats your heart? You know that your heart is beating. You don't take it for granted. You know that you don't have to breathe, that your body will breathe on its own. You trust. So can you trust that you can, I don't know, heal on your own? Can you trust that when Jesus said, I am, that you could also say, I am? That's what we're going to talk about. Intelligence is what we know, and consciousness is how we experience what we know. So now we're going to talk about identity, the I am, the state of being. So when you think about it, I am stressed. I am stressed. What you're doing is you're creating the sensation of feeling stressed because you're reacting to something that's outside of you, but you are allowing your state of being, the feeling of stressed. You are moving your energy into feeling stressed, and then you're staying there because you're handing your power away to your outside experiences. I am fat. Let's say that. I am fat. We're doing the same thing. You are telling your body, okay, I'm fat. And because for God so loved the world that he gave, everything is good. Everything is yes, because you have free will. So when you proclaim and you create, I am stressed, God says, amen. Here you are. That's your free will. That's your choice. And so when we think about that, we're creating all of these things, and God, is it possible that God would always say yes to you? Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Have you been delighting yourself, or have you been recreating trauma through the stories you're telling yourself and the stories you're telling other people? So how do we do this? How do we get out of the muck and the mire of this? How do we not recreate religion? What is Gnostic Christianity all about? What is conscious Christianity all about? What is this? Why do I believe so strongly that this will impact humanity? What is divine wellness? It is pausing the monkey mind for a minute, ignoring everything outside of you, ceasing all input, intentionally deprive your senses, and allow your mind to be opened up to the fact that you are the embodiment of the divine mind. You are the mind of God. You have the mind of God. God is everything. The source, spirit, the divine, consciousness. Everything is consciousness. Everything is everything is everything. And you are part of that. And because of that, we are all gods and goddesses. We are not the one supreme being, but we are energetically. But what we do have is the title of the Son. I am the embodiment of God. What does that mean? Well, we're going to do it. The awakening is our return to cosmic consciousness. This is the revelation of our Christed consciousness. This is the transcendence of the human psyche, like I said. It happens in waves. And I know for some of you guys, you might think I'm like John the Baptist. I get it. I sound crazy. And there's some stuff that's going to be over your head by design. And it's not because I think that I'm smarter or that I know anything. It's just that I understand who I am and I get out of the way and I let God just speak to me. And there's some people that their consciousness is grabbing this very easily because they know. But it's just like riding a bike. We get to be exposed and we pick up momentum and we're going. And so what's happening is this is all in divine timing. And so where we are in 2026 in the stars and the astrals, in where we are in density, we're understanding multidimensionality. And I'm not breaking that down or anything, but third dimension is the one of duality. Fifth dimension is of unity. And so when we think of Christ, I and the Father are one. That's what Jesus said. I and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. We've never been separated. It was just our consciousness, our separation consciousness, our 3D consciousness, the consciousness of this and that, of logic and intuition, the consciousness of left brain, right brain, masculine, feminine, the consciousness of life or death. But when we understand that we are all one, we get to traverse and shift and change. And when you wake up to who you actually are, then you get to become a conscious creator of your reality. And that's why I'm here. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to wake up. I've said some things and we're going to go on an activation. So I've said some things to rattle the dormant DNA within you. Only you know what you know and what you don't know. But what I say is an activation. My voice is medicine. I know that because I've been purified. And I'm not going to waste more time telling my story, but I've been purified to where I know I have the consciousness to know that I am an instrument and my calling and through my journey, through the integration of the last 6 years, like for example, story time, because I've gone way off script. I have my timing here, so I'm fine. Like it's my thing. Like teacher. One time I had my very worst panic attack. Of like, I think it was 25 early March, let's say, of 2025. And I remember it was really intense and I was conscious during it. And so my body was like losing it, like the nervous system thing. And I was like, I couldn't calm down. And so finally what I did, and I did all the calming techniques. I was like, God, the hell is that? Because I knew that I had been activated to speak this message. But I was like, why would you send me into a panic attack? If I and the Father are one and I'm having a panic attack, well, why the hell am I having a panic attack right now from sitting on the couch? Am I dying? I don't know. And so I got in the tub with Epsom salt and the whole thing, and I was kind of mad, pissed. And I was like, what? And God was like, teach them to self-soothe. And then I got a vision because as I was waking up, knowing that I'm falling into my mission for right now, at least being the voice of the awakening, being a prophet, understanding, like intuitively understanding Gnostic Christianity. I've never been trained in that. And if you don't know what, or Gnosticism, it's having an intimate divine knowing of God. And I don't even know what the ancient Gnostics used to believe, but I looked it up and I was like, holy crap, that's exactly what I've been teaching. And I have books. My whole thing is a library because we're here for this. And what I do as a coach is that people get triggered and I can speak to anything because it's through me. And so I'm like, how do we disseminate this message? So that's why I'm in front of you right now. So teaching them to self-soothe. This awakening to what? Awakening to more awareness of your soul. Going back to my things. This is a paradigm shift. If you look around at society, like, aren't we ready for a paradigm shift? Aren't we ready for all of the noise to stop? And because of what we now know from quantum entanglement, when I am calm, then everything around me is calm. My world is calm. Well, when my world is calm, and your world is calm, and your world is calm, and hers and his, guess what? When the water in the harbor rises, baby, all boats rise. Are we over it yet? It's an inside job. It's identity work. Are you worthy? Are you worthy? So what we're going to do, what this is unlearning habits of separation. We're going into it. But the thing about it is it's so simple that most of you won't even believe it because it's so freaking simple. Because what the block in the consciousness is most likely one of a couple of different things: religious conditioning, low self-worth, and because this is going to seem illogical. It is illogical by design because it's magical, it's spiritual, it's God, it's miraculous. If miracles always made sense, they wouldn't exist. Like, the mere definition of a miracle is that it doesn't make sense. So there's a few reasons of why you might reject this message. It might be because of hidden religious conditioning, and I'm going to challenge you. Because you cannot transcend the mind if you're not willing to push the limits of what you believed to be true. You either allow your psyche to be opened or you get it broken from the outside in, right? Nervous breakdown or spiritual awakening. You define. You decide. If Einstein would have believed when everybody called him crazy, then he wouldn't be the Einstein that we know and love today. Okay? You create your reality. Trust me on this, your thoughts. So decide. Religious conditioning, low self-worth will already are also rejected. I could never. That's so much work. Oh my God. I got to be perfect. What is it, savior? God complex? Yeah, you can project onto me. I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you because this is your reality. I'm just a talking head in your reality. I can't believe it for you. If you got to justify why you're not worthy of a miracle, then you ain't never going to get a miracle and you're wasting your time. There's a worth thing in there. Like, which is, it's surrender. TLDR, surrender. And number 3, it seems illogical because it's magical. So, we're about to slide into the experience, but before we do, you must first choose. Okay? You must choose to believe that you can receive a miracle. Lord, you just choose to believe that you can. Yes. Yes, Lord. I choose to receive a miracle. You got to choose to believe that you can. And what a miracle is, miracle worker, it's a healing. It's a mental reset. It's a demon that has you held hostage and it's pulled out of the psyche and cast into the fire. That's what a miracle is. A mental reset. The thing about it is because your thoughts create your reality. When we have that mental reset, your reality will change. We're going to talk about that, but you have to understand, if you believe that you can receive a miracle, it's going to start in your mind. It has to start with you. You have to choose to believe that you can. And that when you have this mental reset, when you receive it, when you allow your mind to be transformed, your life, like, look, you're going to open your eyes, it looks the same. But as you continue engaging with it, it's going to seem a little lighter. It's going to feel a little lighter. Colors might look brighter. And you might start growing in different ways and being open to more and more things and start experiencing things that you never thought you could. Maybe like Jesus talked about, things and greater. But who am I? Where am I going? I'm good. This is just the setup, the tee up. So the mental life looks the same, easier. You just have to believe. Do you believe that you can be healed? Do you believe that you can be healed? I mean, if you want to receive a miracle, you got to believe that you can be healed in the mind. You got to admit that, sure, I see deficiency. I want my life to be a little bit better. I want it to feel lighter. I would love to have love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, and self-control effortlessly, to where the breakdown of society and the dumpster fire that is outside of there doesn't even bother me, to where I actually believe that it's getting better. I am now having hope. Can you believe that life could be slightly better than it is now? Just believe it. So that's the thing. You must choose. You must not beg. Just believe. Okay? God does not override your internal yes or no. If you don't believe, then you can't receive. That's that free will again. So you will be transformed by the renewing of your mind, not by willpower. A 3D to 5D, that's an ascension. So the third dimension is one of this and that. It's duality, it's heavy. But in order to receive, you actually release that heaviness, that density, and you are effortlessly caught up. Your consciousness is effortlessly ascended. And the thing about it is, again, this is evolution. You don't have to do anything. Stop doing. This is ascension. This is you being lifted up, releasing and exhaling. Again, your only work is, do you believe you can? And so, if you do believe that it's already finished, now we can get into the fun part, the actual activation, actually receiving the healing. So, I'm doing so good on time. Okay. So hello. I'm just looking in the chat. Oh my gosh. Yes. Somebody said they barely survived 2025. You did it. You made it to January 12th. Thank you for the birthday wishes. All right. So we are going to shift over, like I said, into the actual healing. And I'm going to share my screen because there's going to be something on there. So let me go over here. Alrighty, let's let it. Oh, I don't think I put it on repeat. Oh, dadgummit. Okay, Canva. Nope. All right, so we're gonna do this guided activation. And so if you're driving or if you're operating machinery, you can listen, but stay very present. The activation is gonna come through whether you engage with it or not. But if your focus needs to be on the road or doing something, then please do that. But for the rest of you guys, I just want to invite you, wherever you are, to get in a place where you can just be comfortable, be seated. I'm seated on a chair with my feet flat on the ground. I'm inviting you to be seated in the same way. And you can drop your eyes down to a soft gaze, or you can look at the screen and look at those petals. But what we're going to do in this activation is we are going to actually go inward. So if you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and exhale. And then take an inhale through your nose. And on your exhale, just start feeling your body where it's sitting right now. Feel the weight in your seat. Feel your feet as they are grounded to the floor. And on your next inhale, imagine there's green light coming up from the earth into your feet. And on your exhale, feel yourself being pulled down further to your seat and onto the ground, almost like being buckled in, like a seatbelt. So go ahead and take a deep inhale up from the soles of your feet and imagine that you're going all the way up. You're breathing into the crown of your head. And then allow that breath to fall away. Take another deep inhale from the soles of your feet and breathe all the way up to the crown of your head, beyond the crown of your head. And now open your mouth and let that air fall away. Now on this third inhale, I'd like you to imagine inhaling from the soles of your feet up through the crown of your head, and imagine touching and kissing the surface of the sun. And go ahead and feel that exhale and feel it being pulled out of the soles of your feet into the core of the earth. Another deep inhale up from the core of the earth, through your feet, up through your legs, up through your body, all the way up through the crown of your head, touching the sun. And on your exhale, feel the filling of that golden light through your body. Feel the warmth of the sun, that light coming through your head, your face, your chest, your legs, down out of the soles of your feet. Take a deep inhale from the center of the earth. Feel that green light come up, 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 all the way up and touch the sun. And on your exhale, feel that golden light from the sun wash down the crown of your head, down the back of your head, down the front of your forehead, slowly recognizing and feeling the warmth of the sunlight, the heat down your throat, around your neck, loosening your jaw, pulling your shoulders down, allowing the breath to return to its normal rhythm and depth, and coming back to the heart space. That's where that golden light is. And allowing that golden light to slide down both arms, down your abdomen, that golden light swirling at the bowl of your belly, sliding over your thighs, down your knees, down your shins and your calves, and connecting you, plugging you into the ground. So as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, we're going to visualize something. And so just trust whatever pictures come to your mind. This is just a vision. This is just our imagination. So with your eyes closed, focus your eyeballs about 20% up to almost like you're looking out of your eyebrows, in between your eyebrows, looking at the inside of your forehead. And with your eyes like that for a moment, imagine in your imagination getting up from your seat at this right now moment and going outside. And outside looks like just some beautiful green grass. And so go ahead and go on out, and you're barefoot and you're walking on this green grass, and it feels so luscious, a little cool on your feet. And feel the warm sun as it's bathing down on your head and your shoulders. And go to the middle of this grassy area and kneel down. And get down on your knees and notice that in your right hand there's a spade. It's a blunt shovel. What is that? And you feel it, and it feels weighty and purposeful. And then you look to your left hand, and because we're in our imagination, you take your left hand and you touch the top of your forehead, and you actually open your mind up. You open up your skull, the top of your head. And you take that spade and you kind of scoop it out of your mind, and you take out all the yucky thoughts that have always ever plagued you. You just take it with that little shovel and you put it onto the ground. And then you take the shovel and you create a hole. You've already closed your head on the other side. But you now dig a hole with that spade and you put those thoughts in there. And as you're burying those thoughts, you thank them for the work. Well done. You may rest. Thank you for your service, thoughts that once plagued me. You were never my truth. You were always my lesson. You were always just an illusion. I thank you so much for your service. And as you bury those thoughts in the grass, you cover it back up, knowing that every single energetic essence of those thoughts is being alchemized into good food for the earth, for your life, for your body. Everything you've ever thought that was not in your highest and best good made you who you are today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so you stand up and the spade disappears and you check your head because that was weird, but you're fine. And then now you walk back in and you sit back down where you are currently seated at this right now moment. Take another deep breath in through your feet and kiss the sun And on your exhale, let the air fall out of your mouth and go ahead and watch that energy go through your body and reconnect you to the core of the earth. Keeping your eyes closed, now I'd like for you to imagine there's small little sprouts of flowers. In your mind, there's a garden, and you're seeing flowers that have been nourished by the sun, and the water in your own body has nourished these flowers. The love in your heart is what sprang these flowers forth. And all of a sudden, as you're enjoying these flowers, you hear, "Do you want to be healed?" Hmm. You hear, "Would you like your gift?" You hear, "That's your birthright. Would you like what's yours?" And so, whether you want to say it out loud right now, or whether you just respond inside of yourself, affirm the choice that you do want to be healed. You would like your gift. You would like the thing that was promised to you just by being alive. The fact that you have a dream of, of inner peace because you have a dream of health, wellness, vitality. Yes, and more. Yes, I do want to be healed. Yes. So once you've confirmed within yourself or outside of yourself, it's all God. Bring your attention to your chest where your heart is. Take a deep breath into that place in the center of your chest and see that bonfire. See the flames as they flicker. See that this is a fire that's just a ball of fire. And it's like the sun. It's like the sun. It's like I'm a little like I'm the sun. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. I'm worthy of being healed. I'm worthy of receiving my gift. I'm worthy. I would like to know why I'm here. Ask yourself. You have your own questions. You have an intuitive knowing that this flame has messages for you. So we're going to have a few moments to where you get to let them come to your attention. And as you are staying in this area, in this mode with this flame, understand and know that this is the voice of God speaking to you, from you, inside of you, as you. This message is why you're here right now. You are worthy. You are provided for. You are safe. You are safe to let go. The more you let go, the more you alchemize separation. What is your message? What is the word? What is the phrase? What is your message? Is it possible that you were always worthy, that you were always God in your body? Is it possible that you've always asked questions because the answers were always inside of you? Is it possible that you are an angel and have never known it? Is it possible that you were uniquely created to be a form of an emanation of God's creative essence? Is it possible that God made everything good, including you, including your mind, including your thoughts? May you know that every thought you think creates your reality. May you know that any thought of self-harm, such as I am stressed, is a sin. I don't have money is a sin. I don't have anything that feels anything less than compassion and love and safety is not of you. It's a shadow thought. So when we deprive ourselves of our external reality and we ignore the fires around us, we are alive in the midst of the blaze, unscathed. May you know that your thoughts create your peace. That message is for you. Your message is for you. So we're inviting in feelings of gratitude. We are knowing that as we release the thoughts that never served, that we have opened the space for consciousness, the consciousness of our identity to be Christed. It doesn't make sense. Are you willing to receive your miracle or not? Do you believe you can be healed? Do you believe that perhaps your reality is not quite what it once seemed? Maybe it's a little less real. Maybe you're here for the fun of it. Maybe you're here to just face the fear and do it anyway. You know you are. There's something that beats your heart and you know what it is. Are you worthy? You are worthy. So we're going to take a moment to take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, imagine that bonfire disappearing, keeping your eyes closed. On your next inhale, I'd like to imagine you to take another deep breath in. Exhale, bring your attention to your feet. And I want you to imagine your feet on your next inhale are starting to be filled up with golden illuminate light, golden radiant light. And as your toes and your feet start to fill up with light, they feel tingly and excited. And you start to feel that golden light slide up your legs, and there's belief there. There's hope and joy. Feel that golden light as it slides up your thighs and into the bowl of your belly as it swirls your creative juices. And you are here to create. Exhale with a smile on your face and go ahead and take a deep inhale and breathe up, up, up through your abdomen into your chest. Feel the joy in your heart, the gratitude in your heart, because you know that something is shifting, something we're in transition. Take another deep breath in and go ahead and open your eyes. Go ahead and open your eyes. Hello. Welcome back. Looking at the screen, I want to show you, I want to bring you back to the right now moment and say, yes, I am the vine. John 15:5 and 7. My head blocks it, but I'm going to read it. Yes, I am the vine and you are the branches, says Jesus. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you could do nothing. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. You may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. Ask for wisdom. Remember that you are wisdom. You are truth embodied. How do we remain in Jesus? Is it Jesus? Christ did. Remain knowing that you are the operant power, that you are already whole, perfect, and complete. To remain there. I'm going to unpack what it means as we come back. So what do? Just now, your I am presence was activated. the God inside of you, the bonfire that burns inside of you. That's your I am presence. It was activated. Your divine blueprint is awake. And so, what do? What does that mean? That you nurture it by going within regularly to silence your mind. The experience you just had, I have no idea the journey you just went on. No idea of the sensations and the things that came to you, but you do. And that's your connection to God. That's your channel. And the more you tune into that, you understand that you are an antenna and you align and you get your messages. And your thinking is in alignment with your highest and best good. And when you're in alignment, you can ask for anything that's in your heart and you will receive it. And this is not a name it and claim it. This is when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Here's the teacher. You get to consciously create your reality. And I go deeper into that with my clients in my coaching packages. I'm not doing that right now. What we did today, right now, is we activated the capacity. Because I had coaches, I had people, I had teachers, I had preachers, I had blah, 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 information. But all of the transformation was inside, as is yours. That's the divine mind. So how do we know? How do we know it's alive? How do we nurture it? You navigate by how it feels. You continually release the 3D. What does that mean? You ignore it. You ignore it as your authority. You see it, you engage with it, but you know that it does not have power over you. Nothing has power over you. You are your operant power. This is neuroscience. What you're doing is you say, I am healthy. When you get a diagnosis, I'm not a doctor in that way. I do have my honorary doctorate of philosophy and self-awareness studies, but I'm not a medical doctor. But if you have a diagnosis, engage, do what you need to do, but know and claim the identity. I am healed. Because now that your divine identity has been awakened, if you so choose to receive the truth that you have now the mind of God, you can say, I am healed. I am healed. And you know that anything that comes up is your divine support. Everything is angels if you allow it. I am healed. And now what's going to happen is you affirm your identity. And then you're going to be tested. Like that's how it works. And it works like that on purpose. Because it gives you that opportunity to come back into center and trust that who I am is enough. We don't even have to quantify it by adding anything else. We can when the mind goes crazy, or when we're too distracted by everything outside of us. If you can always find your inner place of rest and trust that what you need will be given when you ask, it will always be given. Yes, and more, my beloved. God made everything good. When you're in resistance, it doesn't feel good. It's so simple. Can you believe it? In the Garden of Eden, God created Adam and he put him to sleep, and then he created Eve. But he never woke Adam back up. Read it. Pull out your Bibles. He never woke Adam back up. Then the fall, they're cast out of Eden. How do they get back? How do they get back? How do we get back? How do we get back? How do we wake Adam up? Adam wakes up from the inside out. Eve was fashioned from beyond a rib. I'm sorry, what? The energy of the heart, the feminine, the internal feminine, and the external masculine, the son of man. This is energetic, gender, like energetic, the principle of gender is what I'm trying to say. The principle of gender, not the sexes. Get out of my face. The soul is androgynous, by the way. But if I have a left brain and a right brain, if I have logic, which is masculine energetically, and intuition, which is feminine energetically, and if I allow through meditative practices like we just did, the mind to communicate more easily and get out of the freaking way and quit seeing everything in my psyche as within, so without. Quit seeing everything as dual. And how can this shitty circumstance actually be to my highest and best good? I am creating new neural pathways of unity consciousness. And where we are right now is that the stars and evolution and all of the shit that's been going down since 2020, since 2012, since forever, since whatever. But what's going on right now, the divine alignments, is you are given so much assistance. And that's why time has felt like it's compounded, because this is the rapid evolution of our consciousness and you get to enjoy the ride. And that's why people like me have been activated to become activators, because we're doing this all together. There is life on the other side of your breakdown. This is heaven on earth. It's not, we don't have to die to experience it. These are our earthly bodies. And can we believe that we are actually transfiguring? Yeah, I can. Please do with me, so I'm not alone. No, it's Gnosticism. Apparently this is global. This is global. So let me get back to the script. Although we're doing great on time, by the way. Okay, so this is neuroscience. You're rewriting your own neural pathways. If you believe that this is bypassing, then it is. Point blank. You create your reality based on your thoughts. Your thoughts create your beliefs. You act on your beliefs. If you believe that this is bypassing, that's what it's going to be. Yes and more. God says yes. He's going to honor your free will. The flow of things, the natural flow and order, it's not some dude sitting on a cloud, but God is everything. God is the ticking of the clock, the beating of the heart, the movement of the stars and the astrals and the galaxies and God's everything. So when you don't believe, you remove yourself from the goodness of the flow. But when you remember that you are also good, that you can believe that the goodness is flowing to you, then that's where you align yourself, and then that's what you receive. If you can believe, if you know you're worthy, if you choose to remember that you're worthy. So expect triggers, because that's how you choose. When you are offered a choice, expect to get the answer. Expect the highest and best good. Choose the higher path. It must happen. What is the most loving thing? Take a breath, think on it, pray, ask. When the student's ready, the teacher appears. God always shows up. You're not going to get you're not going to get an answer to a question you've never asked. You're not going to get an answer to a question you won't ask. You're not going to get this is so cute, right? You're not going to get an answer to a question that you don't know you have. Look around. Is your life what you want it to be? Do you always feel free regardless of what's going on? Do you have this structured sense of inner peace? Do you know the embodied emotional intelligence that's alive in you? The embodied emotional intelligence, that's God. That's the consciousness of God. It's your wisdom. It's the wisdom of the ages alive in you. When we understand that our human body is an antenna and our consciousness is what we do and how we engage with the projection of the frequencies that are going through our body. When you know the game, you can't be played, but you start to have a lot more fun. You do. That's how that works. You start to have a lot more fun when you know the game, you can't be played, but you understand strategy and you know how to conduct energy. Nikola Tesla says, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Energy. Emotions are simply energy in motion. Frequency. When we were in that meditative state, the frequency of your brain waves slowed way down. You were still awake and aware, but you weren't rattled by all the noise of the gamma waves that are really fast. That when you're peak and you're concentrating on something, and when you're distracted and when scroll and instant gratification, when you slow down and you deprive yourself of senses, the mind calms down and the psyche opens up. So again, I'm talking all over the place, but expect your triggers. It's so that you know to choose the more easy path, the path that feels best, even if it doesn't make sense. And the thing about it is this is a test to see which reality you prefer. Do you continue to stay looping in patterns of strife and fighting because of something outside of you? Or do you take a breath? Do you come back into center And then do you respond as opposed to react? The more intentional you become, the more conscious you become, the more that Christ consciousness starts to move and act and have its being through you. It's very simple and it's effortless. Get out of the way. You are worthy. And let the breakdown break down. So, next up, expect a purge. What does that mean? What is a purge? A purge is when you have to face your demon. And don't be afraid of that. What that is a yucky thought. If you have strife with a loved one, then own your part. Gosh, it takes radical responsibility to be the king of your own kingdom. Are you worthy of the work of knowing yourself? If you don't do the work, it is bypassing, and you're still operating an ego. Crucify the ego. Expect it to come up. Expect the trigger, expect the purge. Find your inner compassion. Do it. Release it. Cry it out. You might just cry for no reason. Let it happen. Quit shadow boxing your 3D reality. Take a cold shower, for crying out loud. Do not take it out on your kids or any other human being. Lest I remind you that everybody is you pushed out. And that'll make sense when it makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, maybe sit with it quietly in the dark, maybe in a closet somewhere. Everybody is you pushed out. Everybody is your interpretation of something on the outside of you. You are only you. You are your own consciousness. So expect a purge, because there's fractions of the psyche that have to be removed. And you're going to pass it. You're going to let it go. That's the old program dying out. If you need help, teachers are out there. I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. Expect it. It's coming up to be released by God, the God inside of you that sees all and knows all that is good. And so if you can see these things on the inside of you as a scared inner child and go give love to that baby, give love to that child, or ho'oponopono, I love you, I'm sorry, please, I forgive you, thank you, please forgive me, thank you. Any of these things, be your own soothing balm, and then engage respectfully. Not trying to change anybody outside of yourself, but because you are somebody new. You are new. You are no longer in strife. You get to now engage from that. And this is how tomorrow you're going to wake up in a new reality. I promised you that, because you are a new person today. So expect your purge. Expect a purge. This is the work. It ain't that hard. And God loves you too much to give it all to you all at once. It happens in waves. You have support all around you. You are not alone. Trust the supports. And also trust that one of these days you will transcend those supports to where you actually are self-healing. You are doing things. You are living a miraculous life. I promise you. Because I'm doing it. I've been doing it. And if you know me intimately, or if you've been on my YouTube, you see how raw I am. I freaking have panic attacks on here all the time. The reason is because as the water in the harbor rises, all boats rise. I know how to self-soothe. And as I recognize nervousness, as I'm about to do something really brave, I understand that God's running higher and higher energy through me. So I feel more and more sensitive to things. Can I regulate that emotion? Can I regulate that energy? Yes. And then I'm entrusted with more. And I'm entrusted with more. And I'm entrusted with more. And that's how I know, trust, and believe that the message of conscious Christianity is the new savior. And it's not anything or anybody outside of you. Knock the king off the throne. You are the king. Let the government do what the government's going to do. Engage with it. That's okay. Don't be too heavenly minded that you're no earthly good, for crying out loud. You're not holier than thou. Find your holiness. Get your hands dirty. Sell something. Give something away. I exist to give. I often say that. I exist to give. And I'm getting all jazzed out right now, but I'm slow down. Back to my notes. Neurodivergent. I was on one. I invented a phrase called neurodivergent, own your mind. And I patented it. I trademarked it, because that's what this is. I was like, wait a minute. You will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Jesus told us this. Own your mind. Think about what you're thinking about. choose to diverge the Neo on purpose. Bro, I'm a Gemini rising at 29 degrees. Those of you who are into astrology will know that at 29 degrees, the anoretic degrees, your girl was either destined to be crazy or a genius. And I chose genius. You can call me what you want because in my eyes, it makes sense to take Jesus up on his word and allow my mind to be transformed and to know that if we're going to really ever be spiritually free, then we got to remember that it's on the inside of us. It just literally is. The devil card in the tarot has the devil with the horns and a man and a woman with chains on them, and the chains are loose. The chains are hanging hanging. Like they could take the chains off and be free, but no, they're like, we're chained, but they're not removing their own chain. The devil card. But the tarot is occulted in the church. Open up your mind. And what? Face your religious wounding. I told you 3 things were going to hold you up: low worth, religious conditioning, or it doesn't make sense. So back to the tarot card really quickly, the devil card. It made me think of in that moment, how does Adam and Eve, how do they get back to the Garden of Eden? Like, can we run the tape back real quick in the Garden of Eden? Let's just say we could figure out, they were cast out of the Garden of Eden. How would they get back? Well, God put a cherubim there, which is an angel with a flaming sword. The sword is the thoughts. The flame is purification. When you purify your thoughts, run back to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, re-eat the fruit, satisfy the karma, and run back to God because you are God. Jesus came, taught us how, and finally have we evolved to where our consciousness could conceptualize, oh, listen to my heart, be who I am, silence the outside of me, go find God. Don't go find religion. Don't put the chains back on to where you're running from some sort of devil, because there's nobody that has power over you. Literally nothing has power over you. You are power. Change your mind. You will be renewed by the transforming of your mind. Now, here's the deal. You're going to slip up. Just like Peter walking on the water, fell in the water. Jesus pulled him up. So why did you doubt? Do you believe you could be healed? Are you worthy? You won't know unless you step off the boat. So ignore the 3D as your authority. Recognize the 3D as data for you to engage. You are here to live the life of your dreams and have fun. Staying in contact with that thing inside of you that speaks. And it comes naturally. It actually comes naturally. When you finally let go and you surrender and you face your fears and you cry them out and you purge them out and you run them out and you exercise and you do whatever your body wants. Because you just listen to that innate consciousness. If you're tired, go to sleep. If you don't want to work, quit the job. Trust and believe that you are always taken care of. It's not going to make sense. It's called surrender for a reason. And you're going to first surrender in the mind. Because everything happens in the mind first. And when you when you let go, then the outside world is going to collapse. And you still continue to let go. You just let it happen. You engage, but you don't let it rattle that sense of stability that you have cultivated in your mind. You now have the mind of Christ. Remain in that Christed consciousness. So what happens is we observe the 3D, we respond, and then we return to our center. We return to the end, knowing that I am provided for, that I'm protected, that I'm guided, that I'm holy, that I'm calling in miracles, that I am a miracle. And God, if you're going to work a miracle, may it be in me. And that's, you find your life purpose. Because you're not here just to get fat and rich. I mean, you can, but that's not going to be satisfying to you. You'll figure that out. Go ahead and get rich, get filthy rich and give to me, right? I don't care. But that's not going to be satisfying. When you taste and see that I am good. When you dare to believe that you are just good, just good. Let anybody outside of you, let them, that you are being transformed. Your body is being transfigured. Every ache and pain in your body, rewrite the narrative. Instead of saying, well, it hurts so bad. Oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna take me down. No. You feel the pain and you say, oof, I love you. I love you. You are free. You are free to release the pain. Speak to the pain. Release the pain. If you have the identity of Christ, let it free. Pain is just internal resistance. You don't got to know what the demon did. You just got to get it out of your system. You got to let it free. You got to witness it with the eyes of God. Okay? What, you're low on money? You're low on money? Speak to money. I'm ready to receive. Do you have a hidden belief? Well, my family always had to struggle. I'm working as hard as I can. I got to think on this. I got to keep thinking on this. Maybe you just got to take a breath. Maybe money wants to flow to you, but your stress and fear about it is blocking the flow. Remember, God made everything good. You're worthy. Where's your mind? Allow your mind first to be transformed. I am abundant. I am worthy. Knowing that everything is energy, when you allow your antenna to say, I am worthy, I am abundant, guess what frequency you're tuning to? That of abundance, that of worthiness. This is how this message is going to be global. You guys, we are a bunch of antennas. Let's raise the freaking frequency here. Right? Allow Jesus' words to be true in you. You will do these things and greater because, guys, we're doing it together. Freaking cosmic consciousness, Christed consciousness, universal consciousness, source. You are the source. Know yourself. Trust yourself. You start walking in that authority, and the Christed expression comes out of you effortlessly. It's easy. It's simple. Don't complicate the matter. It comes naturally. It's your birthright. Unlearn the patterns of fear. Unlearn the patterns of trauma. Stop repeating the story. The more you repeat the story of your trauma and what's not good, the more you dig in those neural pathways and create the life you don't like or want, that you're not enjoying. But when you can allow yourself to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, you are miraculous. And I'm so excited to be on this earth with you. Because we're doing it, guys. We're freaking doing it. Like, even if you're just like feeling it in your heart right now, that's enough. You can just know that you are worthy just the way you are. Eating your Cheetos, sitting on the couch, smoking your joint. If you're out of alignment with God, you know it. You have the shame. The more you hold on the shame and the unworthiness, the more you're going to spiral downward and go in your life's going to snowball in the direction that doesn't feel good. What you feed grows, and what you feed, starve it. What you feed grows. So you starve the yuck, feed the good. Know that you are worthy and just affirm it. I don't care what you feel. When you feel something, know that not all of your feelings are facts. Start having conscious communication with people. Start opening up and examining, what do you want your life to be? Not the fears. Well, if then. If you're living in an if then, you're living in duality. Trust and believe that you already all are whole, perfect, and complete. And the journey to receive your manifestation, to receive your prayers, to receive your birthright, the blessings that you want and you know you're worthy of having, there's a delay. Because you get to live out becoming that identity of the person who's worthy of knowing that they created this blessing, that they called this in, that God blessed them with it. You don't have to strive. You just got to trust and believe that you're worthy. And the prayer goes up and the blessings always come down. Now, you don't have control over God, over the big God, the God. But you're in charge of yourself. And when you lead yourself accordingly, when you allow yourself to be purified, you're inherently holy. So you allow your mind to be purified, and you move mountains. Anyway, I'm going. Look at this. Here she goes. All right, I'm going to now Yeah, it's such a hard stop. I should probably work on how to like gently land the plane, but I'm like, oh, we're done. Let's go. Let's go. That's in totality the vision behind divine wellness. Okay. Divine wellness is Gnosticism, is that awakening, is that knowing that we can actually do this. And that's why being in community or being or having coach or having the information or really steeping into this matters so much to me because this is the practice of conscious Christianity. This is not something that I wanted to do. This is just who I am. And when I knew that I had to start Divine Wellness, the business, initially it was public speaking. And I would travel everywhere. I've spoken all over the country. I've had a blast. I mean, like Miami, like Vegas, like hello, who's that girl? And on these podcasts, and it's been good. But I like the reception. I like the reception. And since I'm an ICF trained emotional embodiment coach, I love coaching. And as I coach people, people are asking questions that are phenomenal. And it's so cool as a certified God code shaman to be able to lead people on these journeys. I didn't realize I was being equipped for my life mission. And that's what this is. And it's an exciting time. So that's what divine wellness is, the business. I do organizational development. I do embodiment classes. I do sound healings. Actually, here, hold on. I have a slide. I have a slide. I'm telling you guys about this because you do have a free gift coming potentially. Oh my gosh, I kind of messed this up. Like you can't even see it. So when I started Divine Wellness, I was at public speaking and then coaching I really, really enjoyed. So conscious coaching to where ask people are asking questions. It's not religious. It's not even necessarily spiritual. It can be both. Whatever, like I meet you where you are. That's my gift. And you just show up, here I am. And if you need assistance, that's the kind of thing that I do. I also do seed point healing. And that's what I meant by a God code shaman. Like I recognize that wait a minute, we can heal this at the point of origin. The thought, this is very hermetic in principle, hermetic principles. And if you're curious about that, we can talk about that. Very, very into Gnosticism. But seed point healing, like I can help people. I can actually kind of scan and tap in psychically and heal and understand the seed point healing in conversation. Then we do that activation kind of like we did earlier. And we can heal. And when it's me and you specifically and we're having a back and forth, my main gift is opened up when people are asked questions. This I love this, but this takes a lot out of me to create it. What I need what I don't need, oh, I'm not in need. Hello, I'm saying it so you can hear it. What best serves this channel is when people ask me questions. Ask me questions. I don't know. I channel it. Huh. And in my one-on-one conversations, in my coaching conversations, also, I love to incorporate astrology. Astrology doesn't have answers. All of this stuff is tools for self-awareness. But the thing I love about astrology is that at the time, date, and place of your birth, you are a manifestation of the constellation right then and there. God was like, that one. Shoo. And in the astrals, as everything was in movement, then everything all at once was in you and you took your first breath. And so, what astrology does is it shows us the essence of the energies that are in your incarnation, in this incarnation, because energy can never be created nor destroyed. And when you're done believing in death, you will understand eternal life. So, don't fight me or fight me about reincarnation, because I love to talk about it as a conscious Christian. Anyway, astrology. So I get to see the essences of your energy. And I just did a reading last week with a friend of mine, and it was intense. I think these astrological readings are about 2 hours long. One for reading, 30 minutes for your natal, 30 minutes for transits, like what's going on right now, some talking, and then kind of just helping to be that pure reflection. Yeah, I can see this. Your Virgo mind is very meticulous and precise, things like that. So I offer intuitive astrological readings. I've been trained in astrology. Great, I've learned it. But when I really started getting that intuitive understanding, God was so cute and said, God, like the higher God, I got this message that says, hey, listen, and I was questioning it about Christianity. Well, what about that? Like, what? First of all, the wise men followed the stars to Jesus. So put that in your pot. pipe, smoke it. But number two, that's so silly. But God was like, I created the stars. Don't feel shame that I've given you the gift of learning how to read them. I said, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Say more. Right. I loved it. So I love astrology. It's just, I'm a hobbyist though, and I love to do the reading. And I've got some feedback about that. I also do public speaking and facilitation, speaking about conscious Christianity. I love it. And I call it Christianity because I'm very, very Bible based, Christian, Christed. That's my thing, but it's not cultural Christianity. I will speak to anybody and everybody. The message is all the same. But what you're going to get from me is not outsourcing your power. It's bringing people back to the intimate knowing of the Holy Spirit, of God via the Holy Spirit as the Christed self. So me and Jesus are right by each other. His life mission was to satisfy the one karma of death and teach the message that has been, repeated for eons. But there were other Christed individuals, and that's why they all have essences of the same type of message. So we are meant to be on par with that. So that's what the conscious Christianity is about. I know my little squares is blocking it, but aligned EI is aligned embodied emotional intelligence. So it's kind of the same message of self-awareness in a very scientific, workplace friendly. Like I said, I worked for 2 state agencies as a top rated facilitator, by the way. I had so much fun. Because I was like, oh, this ain't nothing but preaching the gospel. People loved it. Oh, so did I. And there's something about being smart and teaching like all the like C-suite executives, like our state leaders. Like, who is she? Loved it. Anyway, so that's aligned EI, embodied emotional intelligence. And then that last portion down there is crystal sound healing. And so that is just sound bowls that I offer. So that's pretty much it. My stop was 8 p.m. I'm not stopping just yet, but I do want to invite you to a couple of different things because this is live, yes, but there will be the replay sent out. And so I would like to offer all of my services. Oh, I forgot to put this in the chat. I was supposed to drop a message in the chat with all of my links about an hour and a half ago. Totally forgot. I'll do it here in a moment. But I did want to put my Cash App and my Venmo out there. If you would like to invest in this mission, if you would like to donate to the mission of divine wellness or honor me, oh my gosh, bless me on my birthday, I'll receive that too. Those are my Cash App and my Venmo. And here in a moment, I'll drop the links in the chat for a couple of other things. I do have a free gift for everybody. Let me see if I still have the slide here. The free, oh, it covers up the stinking thing. I gotta put this. Hold on. The free gift is if I'm gonna copy this. Don't yell at me. The free gift is if I'm dropping it in the chat right now. That's the feedback link. The free gift is if you fill out my feedback form from this experience, that I will send you a PDF that's personalized to kind of help you in your journey of consciousness. It'll help to give you a few tools to kind of keep you. There's a mirror exercise on that. So when something or somebody outside of you has you triggered, it helps it to help you to rewrite the narrative to see the mirror. How are your thoughts creating this 3D reality? And it's a couple of questions that helps you see very succinctly how you can rewrite narratives and then still engage with someone or situations outside of yourself from that place of consciousness, knowing that there's consciousness to be had here, that you've somehow engaged with this in a way that hurt yourself. So taking responsibility for the self-soothing and then how to engage with it from a conscious perspective. Handling triggers is something else on that free gift that you will get, and just a couple other goodies. So if you fill out the feedback form, you will in return leave your email address and I will send that free gift to you. Another reason why I'm collecting feedback is because I make my feedback public. When people want to work with me, I'm like, yes. And I essentially, like I just did, beg for feedback because I want people to know, I want you to know, if you're curious about working with me, I want you to know that others have done it and it has transformed their lives. It has transformed my life. It has helped people to take that next step to really create the life of their dreams. And I say that because I want you to know that you're safe with me. Every client that I have, it's a personal connection. I'm that one that had to learn that I couldn't be everybody's coach for free because I get paid to exist and I exist to give. And so what that means is that I meet you where you are. I give everything that I can. And I want that to be reflected in that feedback, that public link. And you don't have to identify yourself. The identification is not public, just the feedback portion, the reading of the reviews is live. It's undoctored and it's for you. So if you're willing to give feedback on what you learned today, the experience or anything with that link in the chat, I would be most grateful. And that's my birthday request. So the gift that you got is the gift of activation. Prepare yourself. Because tomorrow, if you choose tonight to do a little bit of journaling, a little bit of mental identity work, and you trust, you know without a shadow of a doubt that your identity, that tomorrow when you wake up, you're going to feel different, watch it. Just expect it to happen because it will. The next few days, gonna feel magical. The next few weeks, clock it. I'd love to have you come back and comment in this video when your life is changing. I guarantee you, God is waiting to bless his children. The only thing blocking the flow is the worthiness and the belief. Do you believe you can be healed? You already are. All right. I'm going to end it there. We are 8:00 on the dot. Thank you so much for coming. My phone was on Do Not Disturb and it just made a noise. So that's my cue to go ahead and stop the share. I thank you so much for coming. Once again, my name's Tasha Salinas. You're welcome to like and subscribe. Join the channel. I'm putting all kind of stuff out there. I'm doing book readings. I'm doing intuitive, like just podcasting. I'm a bunch of friend of mine. Like we're doing some stuff. So stay tuned and just know that we are here for the greatest life ever. I love you and be well. Bye.